We're walking in the middle of a road in the Jazz timber sale that's been in recovery for about 40 years. The Forest Service insists that this road was never decommissioned, and so that it will be better off once they rebuild it and then re-decommission it, that the watershed will be in a healthier position. That just turns the logic of restoration on its head. So when I first became a forest advocate, I thought that logging was the worst thing that could happen to the forest. But now I've learned that the most ongoing and persistent damage comes more from roads than from actually cutting trees. Roads do help us get to our favorite spots in the forest, but too many roads gets out of hand. In Mount Hood National Forest, there are over 3,500 miles of roads. There are 400,000 miles in the National Forest road system. Most of these roads were built in the heyday of logging. Now they are unneeded, the Forest Service can't afford to keep them, and they exist in a state of disrepair, which leads them to be chronic sources of sediment, polluting drinking water, and destroying habitat for threatened fish species. It doesn't make sense economically to maintain these roads, or ecologically to just watch them fall apart. So now, instead of decommissioning open roads, the Forest Service is planning timber sale after timber sale that will rebuild already decommissioned roads like this one. This goes against the Forest Service's own recognition that decommissioning roads is the single most important thing that they can do for watershed restoration in the Pacific Northwest. They even got off to a great start in Mount Hood National Forest 10 years ago. Unfortunately, funding for road decommissioning in Congress has not kept up with the need. Real restoration doesn't involve rebuilding roads to cut down trees. That's one reason that Bark sued the Forest Service over the 2,000-acre Jazz timber sale. Sadly, the judge took the easy way out, which is deferring to the Forest Service on all counts and saying, despite all the on-the-ground information Bark has, despite their expert witness, I'm just choosing to believe the Forest Service. If this ruling goes unchecked, it basically gives the Forest Service the green light to do whatever they want without taking the public's opinion, the public facts, or the public voice into account at all. What do you think? Is it a road? I mean, can we trust the Forest Service and the courts to be making wise decisions about public lands management? Or do we need to keep our boots on the ground and our voices loud and clear, calling for the removal and not the rebuilding of roads in the forest?